Greetings to all. I am Alif Daus. I'm the group leader for Tutorial 5, Group 4. So let's meet my group mate. We have me, Alif Daus. I have Benita. We have Shelly. We have Joe. We have Elizabeth. And finally, we have Galvi. So, shall we?
So, I will be talking about the executive summary and introduction. So, for the executive summary, our analysis confirms the strong commercial viability of TNB's expansion into Indonesian renewable energy market. Indonesia presents a high growth environment driven by rapid urbanization and a clear national commitment to achieve 23% renewable energy by 2025. TNB's strong financial position and deep expertise in solar, hydro, and smart grids align perfectly with this urgent national goal. However, successful entry is conditional. We must prioritize cultural sensitivity, addressing high context communication styles and strong local influences to build trust. Critically, robust governance is mandatory to mitigate ethical risks like corruption, labor rights, and complex land issues. Political and currency volatility also remains key threats. In summary, the potential is excellent, but realization hinges entirely on disciplined ethical compliance and strategic cultural integration. To secure our long-term stability and profitability in this high potential market. This is the table of contents, and next is the introduction. For introduction, TNB is Malaysia's main electricity provider and one of the leading utility companies in Asia. In recent years, TNB has shifted its strategy towards regional growth, especially in renewable energy, smart grids, and long-term decarbonization. This expansion aligns with major changes happening in Southeast Asia. According to the International Energy Agency, electricity demand in the region is expected to double by 2040 due to rapid urbanization and industrial development. This creates strong opportunities for established utilities like TNB to expand beyond Malaysia. Indonesia is one of the most promising markets with a population over 275 million and fast growing cities. Energy demand continues to rise. At the same time, the Indonesian government aims to reach 23% renewable energy by 2025, which fits well with TNB's expertise in solar and hydro technologies. Besides market demand, Indonesia also offers cultural and regional alignment, as neighboring ASEAN countries both share similar values, languages, and sustainability goals, making collaboration more effective. The This shows that Indonesia's strong demand, supportive policies, and cultural compatibility make it a strategically suitable market for TNB's regional renewable energy expansion.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I will be doing the company and industry overview. Tenaga Nasional Berhad, or TNB, is a prominent Malaysian utility corporation in Asia, having international relations in Saudi Arabia, India, Kuwait, Turkey, and even the United Kingdom. TNB is Malaysia's primary electricity generation enterprise, delivering electricity to all of peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, and the Federal Territory of Labuan, providing power to more than 11 million consumers as of March 31st, 2025. In Malaysia's newly released National Energy Transition Roadmap, or NETR, TNB also strives towards using green, sustainable energy in the future. TNB is part of the electric power industry that encompasses generation of electricity, distributing power, and its supply. Based on a 5-year historical review, the Asia Pacific power market is estimated to be worth around 1,100 billion US dollars. And the main causes for this growth include the rising energy consumption brought by industrialization, urbanization, and government programs that support renewable energy sources, such as the NETR. The market's growth has been greatly aided by the transition towards green energy sources and the development of power infrastructure and the incorporation of digital and smart grid technology. Notably, the Asia Pacific is seeing an increase in expenditures in grid modernization and high performance power and control lines. And that will be all for my slide. Thank you. Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I will be doing the company and industry overview. Tenaga Nasional Berhad, or TNB, is a prominent Malaysian utility corporation in Asia, having international relations in Saudi Arabia, India, Kuwait, Turkey, and even the United Kingdom. TNB is Malaysia's primary electricity generation enterprise, delivering electricity to all of peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, and the Federal Territory of Labuan, providing power to more than 11 million consumers as of March 31st, 2025. In Malaysia's newly released National Energy Transition Roadmap, or NETR, TNB also strives towards using green, sustainable energy in the future. TNB is part of the electric power industry that encompasses generation of electricity, distributing power, and its supply. Based on a 5-year historical review, the Asia Pacific power market is estimated to be worth around 1,100 billion US dollars. And the main causes for this growth include the rising energy consumption brought by industrialization, urbanization, and government programs that support renewable energy sources, such as the NETR. The market's growth has been greatly aided by the transition towards green energy sources and the development of power infrastructure.
Hi everyone, I'm Benita Junila Mugopal and I'll be talking about the market segment analysis for Indonesia. So as you can see in the picture, Indonesia is a huge archipelagic country in Southeast Asia with more than 17,000 islands and a population of over 275 million. Because of its size and growing economy, it has become one of the most promising markets in the region, especially for industries like renewable energy. Culturally, Indonesia is really diverse, but Bahasa Indonesia brings everyone together. Religion also plays a big role in daily life, especially Islam, which shapes consumer behavior and encourage ethical and responsible decision making. There is also the concept of gotong royong, which means helping each other as a community, and this mindset support projects that aim to benefit society, including sustainable energy initiative. On top of that, the Indonesian government has strong policy that support renewable energy. The national energy policy target 23% renewable energy by 2025, which creates a very encouraging environment for companies like TNB to enter the market. When you combine that with Indonesia's culture alignment, it's a very young tech-ready population, and Malaysia's close ties with the country, it become a strategic and realistic expansion opportunity. Nevertheless, for my reflection, doing this project really opened my eyes. At first, I used to think that expanding a business to another country mainly involved dealing with taxes, tariff, or money issues. But through this assignment, I realized that it's much more complicated. You have to look at culture, demographics, social behavior, values, and even how people think or live their lives. All these factors can affect whether a business can succeed in new market. So this project helped me understand that international expansion requires a wider perspective. It made me more aware of the many layers that companies need to consider before entering foreign market.
Hi there, I am Ali Firdaus. So, we have reached section 4.0, which is theory model. In this section, we will be discussing two theory model, which is Porter 5 forces and SWOT analysis. Porter 5 forces. Porter 5 forces is a framework to assess how competitive an industry is, with 5 paradigms that will be discussed, which is threat of new entry, threat of substitution, threat of rivalry, consumer bargaining power, and supplier bargaining power. In Indonesia green energy sector, threat of new entrant asks the question, how common is entry of newcomers? Which in this case is uncommon, which is very low. Why? Because even to enter green energy industry, you will need substantial amount of initial investment, deep knowledge in energy sector, and deep expertise in energy sector, and very rigid and restricted permits and legislation issues. Next is threat of substitution, which asks the question, can I be replaced? In this case, it's low. This is because there's small amount of firms that offer the same or similar service. Plus, the Indonesian government have made strategic planning on where energy firms can be located and operated, ensuring firm operation don't overlap with each other. Furthermore is threat of rivalry, which asks the question, who is my rival? In this case, it's high. Why? Because the structure of the market is oligopoly, which is 6 major firms are tussling for market share and there is no firm with majority market share, creating an intense competition with no competitors having much more edge from the other. Then we move on to supplier bargaining power. How much leverage does your supplier have on you? In this case, it's low. Why? Because TNB, after years of operation, has established a well-structured and reliable supply chain, diversifying their raw material supplier and adopting to sustainable supply chain practices to ensure sustainability and sustainable of operation domestically and internationally. Lastly, for this framework is consumer bargaining power. Ask the question, how much leverage the consumer have on me? It's low because consumer don't have the option to switch nor to choose. But energy firm in Indonesia is adherent to power purchase agreement that lock the price of energy that firm can offer. This may impact TNB ability to maximize profits. So essentially, in terms of competitiveness, it's looking very favorable for TNB to compete in green energy sector in Indonesia. Analysis. This analysis usually used to aid businesses in strategic or long-term planning, assessing strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Strength is a question of what is the company good at. For TNB, it has been operational since 1949. That is a 59 years of experience under the belt, making them well experienced and knowledgeable in the energy industry. Furthermore, TNB have a strong international footprint with a number of successful green projects in Turkey, Ireland, United Kingdom, Pakistan, and even the Maldives. Furthermore, TNB strength can be attributed to their reliable and productive workforce, providing high quality service domestically and internationally. Weakness is a question of what is the company bad at. For TNB, given its size and operation, it has incorporated a multi-layer hierarchy system, which means that every decision has to go through low management, middle management, and top management before any action is being taken. This initially can reduce TNB reaction time to any changes, making it an impediment. Furthermore, due to TNB size of operation, uniformity is something that they strive to achieve. Due to that, there's little to no room for creative or out-of-the-box solution without management approval. Opportunity asks the question, what can the company take advantage of? TNB have a strong financial performance and financial track record. In 2024, TNB has an increment of 18.5% in their earning before interest and tax, which accumulated to RM 8.72 billion. And TNB have recorded an increment of 26.7% in earning before interest and tax since 2019. This illustration of growth and figures will surely instill confidence to current investor and future investor. This will boost TNB ability to gather funds for their expansion in Indonesia. Furthermore, the awareness of green energy have been increasing worldwide. This has stimulated the demand for green energy globally, which favor TNB, as TNB is also a green energy provider. Furthermore, Malaysia and Indonesia have very close diplomatic ties. This will surely aid TNB in laying their foundation for this expansion to Indonesia. Threats. Threat asks the question of what can be impediments toward TNB in expanding to Indonesia. Volatile policy, rules and regulation imposed by the Indonesian government. Furthermore, unstable political scene and fluctuation of currency can directly affect TNB ability to reciprocate profits towards home country.
I'm Shellen, and here's what I recommend for TNB's expansion into Indonesia. First, we can build strong partnerships with PLN and local governments to reduce delays, avoid corruption risks, and gain trust. Second, strengthen governance with clear anti-corruption systems, audits, and community engagement to prevent land and ethical issues. Third, we can invest in community-focused programs such as training the local workers, CSR projects, and culturally sensitive workplace practice in case to build a strong local support. Fourth is to manage financial risk by hedging currency fluctuations, securing long-term PPAs, and using green bonds. Finally, adopt modern technologies like smart grids, rooftop solar, and digital monitoring to improve efficiency and meet Indonesia's growing digital needs. Overall, expanding into Indonesia requires not only partnerships and financial planning, but also strong local relationships, deep understanding, advanced technologies, and community driven strategies. By broadening efforts across governance, sustainability, technology, and workforce development, TNB can position itself as a trusted and long term energy partner in Indonesia. Additionally, TNB can strengthen its approach by deepening engagement with local regulators, tailoring solutions to Indonesia's energy transition priorities, and collaborating closely with regional stakeholders. Thank you. That's all.
In conclusion, TNB intention to spread their operation in Indonesia green energy sector is by no means easy, as all that have been presented here. TNB have to not only take into account the business landscape but also the cultural landscape, such as language, religion, and ethical factors. TNB need to be the utmost diligence in researching and strategic planning to ensure the expansion to Indonesia bear fruitful, as this expansion present a unique opportunity for TNB to elevate themselves in the global green energy industry, while also propelling its ability to procure profits and influence. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for lending me your ear, because we have reached the end of our presentation. For those of you who have questions, please email this email address and we will do our utmost due diligence to satisfy your inquiry. Other than that, thank you for hearing and see you guys. Everyone, thank you for listening.